Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Morning and welcome to a Wednesday edition of Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. We got JC here in just a minute on the Titan MR hotline. Second portion of the show will be joined by former Georgia quarterback Buck Belue. He hosts a daily show up in the Atlanta area. We'll get his thoughts on Florida, Georgia. If you missed it last night, the Braves win Game 1 of the World Series, 6-2 over the Houston Astros. Good start for the Bravos. Boy, they came out swinging the bats last night. I fell asleep when they were hit, I think 5-1. But we're still trying to get JC. JC has some internet issues. Maybe JC forgot to pay his bill this month. Maybe I'll just get him to call in. Let me text him real quick. And we got a couple of Facebook Lives here, brought to you by Meldon Law. Cliff says, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Dan, out in Dallas, Texas. Just curious what everybody's thoughts are about this game coming up. As it gets closer, do you feel better that the Gators have a chance for the big upset, or do you feel like we have no chance? My thoughts haven't changed very much as of yet. I think we're going to have to play our best game that we've had, maybe under Dan Mullen, and we're going to have to make some tremendous plays on offense to move the football. Defensively, we can't let them push us around like LSU did. If we do that, it'll be a long day. But regardless, it should be a good weekend in Jacksonville. I will be over in Sea Island tomorrow and Friday with Danny Werfel's Desire Street Ministry Desire Cup. It's always a tremendous event and a lot of fun as well. We're still trying to get JC on the line. He says, got to be in the plus on the turnover battle. There's no question about that. If you turn the ball over 4 times, it will be a massacre. We turned it over 4 times against a bad LSU team. Still had a chance to be in the game, but that's the reason we lost. I know, people still want to sit here and talk about the defense. I get it, people. I get it. But if you turn it over 4 times and the other team doesn't turn it over, you're not going to win any football games at any level. Rick asks, are you taking JC to the tailgate next week? I have no idea what JC's plans are. I don't know a whole lot about the tailgate. I'm just showing up, people. Me and some other folks are so-called hosting an event. So we'll see. Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, 100% chance I'm having fun Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. But that could change around 3:30 when the game kicks off. Evan, just text him and tell him to call in. Okay. So anyway, I don't know if anybody watched the Braves last night. Big win. I mean, think about this. Somebody texted me this today, or maybe it was yesterday, on the Titan MR text line. It was from Jerry. Let me see if I can find it on here. Okay, Jerry said, well, where is it? Did I erase it, dadgummit? Oh, no, here it is. JC, are you there?
I'm in. Here I am.
All right, JC, here's what you got to do. You've got to call Cox today and pay your bill, okay?
Well, it gets paid automatically, and so this is inexcusable. But
that's why that's why most people in Alachua County do not use Cox Communications.
Well, I understand now.
So you need to maybe make a switch. How about this? How about this? Have you heard of this? Every year the Atlanta Braves have made the World Series, Florida has beaten Georgia. Did you know that?
No, so that's cool. That's a great stat. Bodes well for the Gators, I would guess. Man, look at the Braves last night. What about that offense? popping out a few balls early, getting ahead of them, and holding on. I feel bad for Charlie Morton, though. It's awful that he broke his leg. He's got his fibula broken, and he's going to miss the rest of the series. But if they hit like this, it looks good for them. Even without Acuna Jr. and Ozuna, they've got guys stepping up like Duvall and Solar, who's now back, and that really does a lot for them in that lineup. And when they go back to Atlanta, though, they're not going to be able to use a designated hitter. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that lineup.
Well, I always feel like it favors the National League when you don't have the DH, because now you got the American League pitcher who hadn't stepped up to the plate. Well, I shouldn't say all year long. He had to do it in the when the American League, National League play during the regular season. I believe you have to use do you have to use the DH then or no?
No,
I mean, not the pitcher. Does the pitcher have to bat during the regular season? I thought they switched that rule.
Yeah. No, all I know is I could be wrong. Maybe we were both wrong, but I think when an American League team plays in National League Park, pitchers have to hit. So anytime a game's in a National League Park, pitchers hit. Now, if that's wrong, that's wrong, but I think that's right. As for the Braves, though, it helps to have Solar in there. I mean, otherwise they're going to have to do some fidgeting with the lineup because, where does he play? So I think right now, though, the way this team's momentum is behind them, I mean, you're only hitting 256 as a team as a batting average in the playoffs, but they're getting some really timely long balls. I think they've had something like 15 home runs, something to that effect. I'd be able to look on my phone to tell you if I didn't have to use my phone to reach you because of my lousy Cox cable internet. So,
I think you need to make a move, JC. You got to make a change.
Okay. I'll look into that. But you got Fried going tonight. He's got a very effective. He's got an ERA of just over 3 against Urquidy, who's 3.62. I just think the Braves right now just seem like right now they have they've had 14 home runs in the postseason. Freddie's got 3 of them. He's got a slugging percentage of almost 600 for Freeman, so he's coming through for them. And so I just like the way they're going right now.
Yeah, they're playing real well. There's no question about it. So that gives Gator fans hope that every time the Braves go to the World Series, they beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, let's be honest. I was just looking at it. This was in 1991, 1992, 95, 96, and 99. That was all when the HPC was there, and Georgia was not very good, in my opinion. Well, they were good in 92. They were very good in 92. They were ranked like 3rd or 4th in America. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Dan says,
I've got my tomahawk. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
You got your Braves gear on today, your Hank Aaron jersey and all that good stuff? Are you wearing a Glenn Hubbard jersey today?
No, Biff Pocoroba. And
there you go.
I got the SMU ponies going with the tomahawk hat. So I'm all red, white, and blue up here. I've got a new Gator hat I'm going to debut on Friday. You'll love the Gator hat. I'll bust out on Friday if I can get the internet working for me.
Well, good luck with that. Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melton Law, Florida versus Georgia in baseball Friday night at the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Stadium. Yep, they always play that little game there. I think fans enjoy doing that. And, it's a big weekend. There's no question. Luke Combs is playing Friday night there in the Dailies Arena. So Jacksonville's got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Cliff says, wasn't Eric Zier the quarterback for Georgia in 92? Yes, he was. Zier, Garrison Hurst, Andre Hastings. They were ranked 3rd in America, and they went down to the Mighty Gators. We got some texts here on the Titan MR text line, JC. You ready for them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, let me see here. This comes from, where is it? Here it is. This comes from Garrett. Garrett says on the Titan MR text line, if you get time in one of your shows, can you explain the difference between coaching and scheming? Some people use it interchangeably, and I guess I'm confused on the difference. Thanks and great show. That's a tremendous question. There's a lot of good coaches out there. But scheming to me is when you see a weakness or something you can exploit, whether it's on the defense or offensive side of the ball, and you go in and you put stuff in just for that. For example, last year in this game, Dan Wall and his staff obviously saw some way with the coverage that Georgia played to the single receiver side, they could run a little slant, a lazy, bad slant pick play, and then bring the back out on the wheel route. That's scheming. Early in the year, if you think about Anthony Richardson's long run against FAU, the 70-something yard touchdown run, we were in an unbalanced formation with 4 receivers to the left, and they ran the zone read and wrapped the tight end around. I think it was Gamble. He kicked out the end, and there was nobody over there. So FAU did not know how to line up to that formation. So that's what scheming's all about. And in the passing game, it's, how do we attack a safety or a corner, because in coverages, everybody has a responsibility. So you can run decoys at different players, attract them, and then throw it over their head. So that's kind of what scheming is. It's part of coaching, and some guys do it better than others. Did that make any sense to you, JC?
Oh, it sounded great. And I think an example of the best schemers in college football would be a Dan Mullen, a Steve Sarkisian, a Lincoln Riley, guys that can, in the heat of the moment, execute a play, have the players ready to do that because they actually practiced it, and execute the offense that way. When
Ole Miss schemes you up too.
Oh, Lane Kiffin is great at it. And, when Alabama played Ohio State in the championship game, they had a linebacker trying to cover Devontae Smith. So that's, Alabama exploited that kind of a weakness that Ohio State presented, and Devontae Smith just ran by people. And so, and Mullen has been really good at that. And so has, obviously, Lane Kiffin is really, really good at it. So I think you'll see some scheming with Mississippi and Auburn this weekend, because I think Auburn's going to try to pressure Ole Miss, kind of like what Alabama did. And, we'll see what Lane can do about that. Mississippi's a banged-up football team. If they have healthy players, they are so dangerous. And we'll see who they can get back on the wide receiver end against Auburn. They're going to need it. Florida has gotten a week off now to kind of heal up. What do you think the Gators worked on specifically, in your mind, QB, in preparation for Georgia while they had the week off? What do you specifically think they'll? Well,
on your week off, you don't work on your opponent. They just work on trying to get better, because you don't want to prepare for somebody that long.
Well, no, what I meant was as far as doing to try to improve for the Georgia game is kind of what I meant to say.
You just got to go out and do what you do well. That's the thing. You can't change. You got to figure out what you do well as a football team, and that's all you do. I haven't watched Georgia's secondary. We had Trent on yesterday. He said they play a lot of zone, which surprises me, because in the past, Kirby's guys played a lot of man. Maybe he doesn't think they need to play a lot of man. So, we'll see. We got a couple of Facebook Lives here brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Dan asked, who did Shane throw his first ever TD to in the Florida-Georgia series? That's a great question. I don't know if I know the answer.
Terrence Barber?
No. That's a good guess, though.
How about Harrison Houston?
That's another good guess, but no, Harrison would have been more 91. Maybe it is. I'm going to say.
There's a clip, QB, of you hitting, I think it was.
That's Alonzo Sullivan.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Alonzo. No, that's the one down the sideline. There's a clip after this program that they run.
That's Alonzo Sullivan.
I'm talking about the one down the middle of the field.
Oh, down the middle of the field. That's probably Terrence. But I don't know. Dan, you're going to have to give us the I'm going to guess Kirkpatrick. No, that ain't right.
Well, that's
Ernie Mills, 6-yarder.
Oh, it was a 6-yarder? Okay.
Yeah, it must have been a fade. It had to be a fade.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got a Facebook Live here by Loreno. He wants to know, hey, this is Larry B.
Okay.
His question is, with all the issues this year in recruiting tanking, do you think Dan Mullen might actually leave the program? No, I don't see him leaving. Where's he going to go?
No, he's not leaving. He's getting paid well, and he's got a job to do. They want him here, the administration, and he's here. He's here for the next three years minimum, I think. And I think that that kind of conversation needs to kind of cease, because they got to focus on finding players. I mean, let's forget about finding coaches. Mullen will take care of that, and he's not going anywhere. His family lives here. I don't think he wants to pick up and leave again. I would just be shocked if that were to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get many offers to leave, because I think folks, they're looking elsewhere right now in their coaching searches, I would think. So I think Mullen is here. He's going to be here, and he's going to, he's got to find kids that, can get off blocks on defense. He's got to find kids that can stretch the field and threaten you with the deep ball. He's got to find people that he wants to win games with. And so he's going to have a facility to show off here by April, I guess it is. So, things are going to come around.
JC, you were talking about Ole Miss a few minutes ago, and obviously I got a lot of Ole Miss friends. I had an Ole Miss buddy of mine text me, and he goes, "Would you take Ole Miss's skill players on offense over Florida's?" He was asking me that, and I said, absolutely, I would. Ole Miss looks way faster than we do on offense. Is that just me, or do you agree with that?
No. Snoop Connor's faster than anybody Florida has right now, running the football. And when Ole Miss has their top two receivers in the game, I don't think we have anybody at Florida that compares to those guys. And it's just a function of, Lane Kiffin finding guys that will operate in his offense very well. And Dan's got to do that. And maybe it takes more than 1 year, folks. It could. But no, Mississippi they're very fast. They're very quick. They've got a great quarterback. The offensive line is fine. They're very good.
Yeah, it was an interesting question, because they have different types of receivers there. They have the tall guys, and they have the little slot guys, but they have two running backs that are so fast and so quick, and we obviously know about their quarterback. We got a text here. I'm not sure who it's from, but they wanted me to talk about an event they're hosting, and would love for me to give away 2 tickets to anyone fighting breast cancer or who's a survivor. It's this weekend. It's called the Hunker Down for Breast Cancer. It's being held over in Ponte Vedra. It's Friday, October the 29th. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Robbie says we definitely need to get fat. Yeah, we don't look like a fast football team to me. I don't know, but we did. John says Mike White went out and hired some new assistants and is paying off in recruiting. Let's see how it pays off in the court. Mullen has to do the same. Yeah, we'll see. Basketball has cranked up. I want to say they had a little scrimmage last week against North Carolina, believe it or not. It was like kind of a quiet, under-the-radar deal. But anyway, what else going on? JC, did you see where Texas Tech fired their coach Monday?
I did, and, I don't know. I think it has more to do with the way Texas Tech plays. I mean, the guy is 5-3 right now. Don't know many coaches who coach teams like, directional program or developmental programs like Texas Tech getting fired for a 5-3 record, but it obviously has to do with the way some of their games have gone. I think that Kansas State game was the last straw. I watched a lot of that game. They really made a lot of bad mistakes. They did not score in the second half. They had 14-point leads twice, and Kansas State had no business winning that game. And so I think the administration has finally gotten to the point where, if we don't change the way we play, if we don't change the kind of players we recruit, we're always going to be mediocre. And I don't think that's what they want to do. But they have to remember they're Texas Tech. They're kind of like that developmental program we have in this conference named South Carolina or Missouri or somebody like that. And what I think Texas Tech's issue is going to be is who are they going to find? Who's going to want to go to Lubbock and coach a team? Now, maybe a lot of people will want to go to Lubbock, but I think they need to assess what they are and what they want to be. This coach was 5-3, and they let him go. Now, it's been a couple of years that they've had him, but this is the world we live in, and I don't know if patience was warranted there, but it just looked like Texas Tech is a team that has plateaued, and I think they want something more than that. And this coach was not giving it to them, so they decided to cut him loose.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. As you said, it's not like they were 3-5 or 2-6. They were
No,
5-3, and they are Texas Tech. Turn your car or truck into a rolling billboard for your business or brand with an eye-catching vehicle wrap from Wrap Spot. This October, mention promo code Shane, receive 13% off your vehicle wrap. Speaking with JC here for a few more minutes, then we'll be joined by Buck Belue, former quarterback of the George Bulldogs. Also, he has his show up on 680 The Fan up in Atlanta. Text on the Titan Mark text line. Huh?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead and read this.
It comes from Daryl. Daryl says, Shane, I know it's a different style of offense this year for the Gators, but would you try the wheel route again that was so effective against Georgia last year? Thanks, Daryl. Yeah. I mean, you got to – wheel routes are so easy to throw. It's one of the highest percentage throws you can have. And, you got to run it in certain situations. I've seen some teams run it to the wide field. You don't want to run it to the wide field. You run it to the short side. When you're on a hash, run it into the boundary because it's a quicker throw, it's a shorter throw, and it's just the angles are so much better. The passing game is all about angles. JC, were you ever a good pool player?
No, I was horrible.
Horrible? Okay, well, the passing game is all about angles, because, I mean, think about it. Like when people run like seam routes, you really have to worry about the angle of the throw to make it a successful play. People don't think about that, but it is so true. Your releases, where the ball is on the field, which hash, the alignments, all this kind of stuff. It goes into throw. That's if you want to be a good throwing team. If you just want to be a so-so bottom of the league throwing team, hell, you can just line up and just throw. But it blows my mind how some of these people don't utilize where they are on the field and things of that nature. But that's a whole other story.
You get to see that, really well from where you get to sit on these games that you get to call from the booth. I mean, you see it all up there. And I think if you were to be an offensive coordinator, QB, you would be a booth guy. You would absolutely be a booth guy instead of a field guy calling plays, which most of them are, I guess. But in passing, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, but I would think that for the really good quarterbacks, hitting angles and making throws like that just comes naturally, where others try to aim it and try to press when they throw to be perfect. For a quarterback to be really good at that, it just has to come natural, like it does for Aaron Rodgers, like it does for even Matt Corral.
I'm not talking about so much from a quarterback. I'm talking about from the route tree, the play design. A lot of it determines and is dependent on the alignments of receivers, where they line up before the ball snap, how you get different leverage on the I mean, there's so much that goes into it. People think you just call a play and you line up. No. Alignments by receivers, depending on where the ball is on the field, makes a big difference. Joseph says, South Carolina's out recruiting Florida currently. So what's that statement mean, JC, for the Gators? Since you were just calling Texas Tech, South Carolina.
Well, because that's what – I mean, actually, I would say that's an insult to Texas Tech, frankly, because at least Texas Tech can get a first down. South Carolina hasn't been able to do that in 3 years. But I would say that, getting back to the Gators for a minute, they average over 500 yards of offense, QB, and I know you know that. But the point is that this will be the best offensive team that Georgia's going to play. And I just think when you have Dan Mullen preparing for over a good long week, you're going to see Florida do some pretty cool things, in spite of how great Georgia's defense is. And they are, but let's be honest. I mean, how great do we know they are against the pass? Nobody's even been successful doing that. Auburn dropped every pass that was thrown to them. So Florida's going to really pressure Georgia, and this is where we're going to find out what Georgia's defense is truly all about. I mean, if you want to just rack it up on a bunch of non-passing teams like Kentucky and South Carolina and teams that can't execute offense, that sounds great. But what are they going to do about a team that averages 500 yards of offense? If the Gators don't turn the ball over, folks, I'm telling you, this is going to be closer than you think. I just believe that.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, it ain't like we're a great passing team.
You don't sound very optimistic, UV.
I'm just telling you, in this game, line of scrimmage makes a big difference, and I'm concerned about both lines of scrimmage. That's all I can say. They got some grown-ass men playing on both sides of the ball for that team. can get after it.
I mean, put some guys back there to protect. All I can tell you is that I think you can throw the ball on this team because I think I saw a lot of open guys that Auburn had in that game who just couldn't catch the football. I watched it. I saw these dudes were open, man. They just were afraid to catch it because either they got alligator arms or they were afraid to get hit, and I get it. Georgia's physical as hell, probably more so than any team in the country, but your job is to catch football when it's coming at you. And I just think if you're going to put some max protect up there and throw that ball, man. Throw it down the field. Let's see what these guys can really do defensively. Let's see if these Florida players can execute with over a week and a half to prepare some aggressive play calling. That's all.
Well, you got to be aggressive. You can't come out and call plays like you did the last two games. There's no way. We'll get blasted. Got to be aggressive. If you got joint pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away, you need to check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. Schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics. 352-400-4550. Give them a call today. That's QC Kinetics. 352-400-4550. About 3 or 4 more minutes with JC here before we get to Buck Belue. Talk a little George Bulldogs. We got a Facebook Live here. John says, if Nick Saban wants to prove he's the best coach in America, he needs to go to Lubbock.
Yeah, well, there's a better chance of it snowing today than that happening. I don't think Nick Saban needs to prove anything. I think we know that, and he has already proven it. So, Lubbock is one of those weird destinations. Now, I've never been, but the stories I've heard about it is that it's let's just say it's kind of a difficult place to maybe set up, and it's not a exotic destination for a lot of great players, although I can't say they haven't had great players there before, because they have. I mean, Pat Mahomes played there. Baker Mayfield played there.
Baker Mayfield played there.
That's what I just said. Baker Mayfield. Pat Mahomes.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Michael Crabtree played there. I mean, so they've got a history, somewhat of a history there, and I think it's a school that can win football games. But the way they were going, they just did not like what they saw. I watched that game against Kansas State. There's no way in hell they should have lost that game, and that was the final straw for that administration. So they let them go because they don't want to be a team that loses 4 and 5 games every year.
JC, Dan on Facebook Live wants to know, did you take all the money out of Biloxi?
I did well. I did very well. Yeah, when they give you money with Texas A&M laying 19 against South Carolina and Ohio State laying 21 against Indiana, and Pittsburgh as a small favorite against an awful Clemson team. I mean, they were giving you money.
He apparently didn't pay his phone bill either.
Do I?
I said you apparently didn't pay your phone bill either.
Oh, did I come out again?
No, we can hear you now.
It's just been a technological nightmare today. But like I said, they were giving away money with some of these games and some of those lines. A&M, Ohio State, big blowout winners, easy money. Pittsburgh only laying 3 against the woeful Clemson team, and I do mean woeful. Only putting a 50 number up there as a total for Wake Forest and Army. It was so easy, it was ridiculous. So sometimes you get lucky that way, QB. Hello?
Mine always, I don't know what's going on here. I got perfect signal, perfect everything. So let's go to break.
Go to break.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are MB Listing, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avera and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmett Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They are getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmett. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. In North Central Florida, call 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Visor's Tailgate and Rooftop Bar, located on top of Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point, is now open Thursday through Saturday. Visor's covered open-air bar is the perfect place to gather after work or meet up with friends. You'll love the handcrafted cocktails and elevated shareables available every Thursday through Saturday. Visor's Tailgate and Rooftop Bar is perfect for fans of great food, great drinks, and great weather. Visors not required. High spirits are highly encouraged. Visit spurriers.com/visors.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration Points, where the Gators go to celebrate, with premium brands like Nike, Prime and Pearl, Regal Cinemas, Medici, Dave & Buster's, Skechers, and the HBC's new restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Make your reservations today at spurriers.com. And now open Thursday through Saturday, Visor's Tailgate and Rooftop Bar. We'll see you at Celebration Point, where the Gators go to celebrate. We're waiting to get connected here to Buck Belue, former Georgia quarterback. We'll get him on momentarily. But in the meantime, we're going to read some Facebook Lives. David Says, brought to you by Melton Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. My sources said Wells did not get along with players and really alienated some previous players, donors, walk-on kids. Got to be political as a college football coach. Yeah. Why you would ever alienate any walk-ons or former players. I don't get that. That's happened here before, though, too, as well. That's not a good way to start out and not a good way to run your program. No question about it. Again, we're waiting on Buck Belue to join us on the Titan MR hotline. In the meantime, we're going to get to This Day in Sports, brought to you by our good friends at Comfort Temp. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Comfort Temp is now hiring team members with all levels of experience, great culture and benefits, and opportunity for growth. $1,000 signing bonus for qualified positions. Call them today. That's Comfort Temp at 352-376-2366. This Day in Sports, former Gator soccer player Abby Wambach announces her retirement in 2015. Speaking of Gator soccer, I think we're struggling in soccer right now. I don't follow it, but I thought I heard our record was like 3-10 or something the other day. I'm sure somebody on here knows that. David said, I still have nightmares of Buck Belue to Lindsey Scott. Yeah, that's probably I would like y'all's thoughts on this. Is that the greatest or the biggest play in the history of this series, Florida Georgia game? Is it the Lindsey Scott game? And I think it is, because that's what everybody talks about, right? Herschel didn't have any kind of standout moments, I don't think. I mean, I know we had some really good games, but Buck to Lindsey was the play. We got a text here from James on the Titan MR text line. He says, Shane, what's up with this tailgating thing you're doing at the Florida Georgia game? It's being put on by a company. I will be there for a couple hours. You buy a ticket, you get free food, free open bar. I think they got music. They got all kinds of other people that are going to be there as well. So should be a lot of fun. If you're interested, there's a link on our site here that you can go get you a ticket. Did you see the defensive player? I lost it. It's gone. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to the Titan MR Hotline. We're going to be joined by former Georgia quarterback, old number 8, Buck Belue. Good morning, Buck. How are you, buddy?
Shane, doing pretty well, man. Just stayed up late watching those Braves last night and feeling better, but Charlie Morton going down, man, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, that was kind of bizarre. You know, he broke his leg, right?
Yeah, took a ground ball right back at him off the leg and tried to finish it out, but, you know, the x-ray showed a fracture, so it looks like he's out of the postseason the rest of the way here.
Yeah, so as you said, it was a good start for the Braves. They're up 1-0 with a 6-2 win. It's got to be fun up there in Atlanta right now with Georgia and the way the Braves are playing in the World Series, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. This town's on fire. Gosh, 1995's been a long time. You know, this generation right now have never seen the Braves in the World Series, much less win it. So, yeah, this younger generation, they're on fire for this right now.
Look, I'm sure you've seen this. I guess is a stat that says every year the Atlanta Braves have made the World Series, the Gators have beaten the Dogs. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. I heard that yesterday. I'm thinking maybe that trend may come to an end this year. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think so. But let's go back to your career. We got a bunch of people on Facebook Live saying they still have nightmares of Buck Belue to Lindsey Scott. Talk to us about that play. What was the play call? Was Lindsey your primary target? Just run us through that play again.
Well, look, it was now or never. You know, you don't get a play at that point in time. You know, this idea of winning the national championship or becoming the number 1 team in the country was going to not exist, you know, for the most part. So, you know, there was a lot of pressure to do it right now. So we were sitting there on 3rd down inside our 10-yard line and needed a big play. The play call, Shane, was left 76, and it was a traditional pass play. I think everybody in the country ran it. You had the tight end on an underneath drag route. You had the Z receiver running a post. And you had Lindsey at the X running a dig route, the deep crossing route. And, you know, as I look back on it, it was one of those deals. I relate it to sort of like the NCAA Big Dance basketball tournament where you might be down a point. You got 3 seconds left. You've got to have your best player shoot the rock in that situation. So, you know, I'd predetermined prior to the play breaking the huddle, this ball's got to go to Lindsey Scott. He's our big play receiver. So it was now or never. The ball had to go his way. And so I was determined to get it to him. Look, initially he was not open. Gators were rushing 3, dropping 8 into his own coverage. And Fernando Jackson, David Little, the 2 inside linebackers, outstanding players, by the way. Those guys were the best we had faced that season. They were in their zone coverage, and Lindsey was directly behind Little. And so I pointed at Lindsey, hoping he would stop. And he did. We had never talked about this, so that's the strangest thing, right? It's just chemistry with each other. I pointed, he stopped. Little kept drifting. It opened up a tunnel to get him the football, and I was at that point, you know, getting out of the pocket, had a little pressure, and I was just thinking, okay, there's no way I've got to make this throw. And when you're on the gallop, when you're on the run, and you're trying to throw back across your body a little bit, you know, the traditional error is to fly it over his head, right? And so I wanted to get on top of that throw. That was my thought. Get on top of it, and was able to flight it in there to Lindsey. And, you know, when he made the turn, we got a block out of Chuck Jones on Groves, the free safety. Lindsey had a little seam to hit the sideline. And at that point in time, I just knew that, you know, they had nobody that was going to run him down. So it was a glorious feeling for us, and not so much for the fighting Gators that day.
No, not at all. That's being a guy who grew up in Mississippi, not knowing a whole lot about the rivalry. That's the one play everybody talks about, and obviously y'all went on to win the national championship that year. It's been a long time, and Georgia this year has an opportunity to play for it a couple of years ago against Alabama. Just talk about the state of this Georgia program, what Kirby Smart has done to build it. I mean, they've been in the top 3 or 4 in recruiting every year. He's made the 14 playoff. Is this the team that could get it done?
Well, I believe right now, there's all this talk about the quarterback, who they're going with. Stetson Bennett, they're going to stick with him. They're going to plug JT Daniels back in there. That's the big conversation right now heading into the game Saturday. But I think the biggest thing for me is, can they get this wide receiver core healthy? Their top 3 guys have gone missing here the last 3 games. And I believe they've got like 4 catches for 20 yards between the 3 of them. Injuries ding these guys up. I'm talking Jermaine Burton, Arian Smith, Kieris Jackson are the guys that have disappeared with these injuries. The off week should have healed up a little bit. Hopefully some of these guys, at least 1 or 2 of them, are going to be able to get in there and go. And with JT Daniels back, I believe that is the big key to beating Florida and then running the table, getting to Alabama in the SEC title game, taking care of the Crimson Tide there, getting into the playoffs. Look, this is 2021. You can't win with just defense and running the football. So I believe this passing game is the key for the Dogs the rest of the way. JT is a guy that can unlock it as far as the quarterback goes, but they need these big play receivers getting back in there making some plays.
Speaking of the quarterback, it sounds like you're hoping JT's back. I've been a big Stetson Bennett fan for the last couple of years, but because I love the way the kid plays. I think he does things at the quarterback position that you cannot coach. And yeah, he ain't the biggest guy. He don't have the strongest arm in the world, but he knows where to go with the football. This is just an outsider's perspective. Now, to me, when I watch JT Daniels play, yeah, he's got a great arm and stuff, but I feel like he's more at risk of hurting your football team. But he also gives you that opportunity to big plays down the field. Am I crazy to think that if I'm Kirby, I play Stetson Bennett in this game? Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, who knows? I'm talking with Kirby later today, doing an interview with Kirby. I was over in Athens on Monday, and he spoke about it, and it's sort of cryptic, what he's saying right now. You could take it either way about what his decision's going to be. I mean, last night after practice, he was talking about JT Daniels being not limited. He's back to pretty much 100%, which, would lead you to believe maybe they're going to go with JT Daniels. But, I think they'll play both. Gosh, they were playing both. Even when JT was healthy at the beginning of the year, he would lead 2 touchdown drives. They'd be up 14-0 in the first quarter. And here comes Stetson Bennett to play. So, yeah, I think they'll play both of them is my hunch, my guess. The thing I like, and Stetson Bennett, man, I mean, he has stepped in and done a really solid job, but it limits you in the passing game. He walked by me in the hallway last week, and I thought, wow, he can't be 5'8", 5'9", 160, 165. And it I thought of Doug Flutie for a minute. And, his vision in the middle of the field is so limited. You see him throw a lot outside the numbers where he can see. He's got a little better vision there. But he brings that element of running, scrambling, keeping the ball on the read option, those kind of things. They do pass it less when he's played, about 10 times less a game when he's the quarterback. With JT, he does such a good job of the pre-snap determining what the coverage will be, and then throwing an accurate ball short to intermediate to deep, a really good, quick decision maker. Now, he doesn't bring the running element to the pocket. So, it's sort of tough to read the tea leaves right now about what's going to happen on Saturday. My best guess is you'll see both of them.
Yeah, I think you're going to see 4 quarterbacks playing this game, quite honestly, 2 from each team. Talk a little bit about the offensive line play for Georgia this year.
Well, I think it's been really good. They had an injury against Clemson right out of the gate at right guard, and, they filled that with one of the centers. And so, in spite of that, they played really good football, I think. You see a lot of teams that are crowding the box especially since JT's been out the last 3 games. And they've still been able to spring these running backs loose, get that running game going. So I think they've done a really good job. Jamari Sawyer, the left tackle, played left tackle last season and really did outstanding work. He came back hoping to play guard, and that's where he'll play at the next level, I believe. But you look, these young guys just hadn't taken his job at left tackle, so he continues to play there. Really powerful guy. But I would say I'd give him a B+ right now where that offensive line's at.
We got a Facebook Live question here brought to you by Melvin Law. Tony wants to know, hey, Buck, does the Georgia fan base get crazy frustrated with not winning championships when they have what I see as arguably the best group of players every year?
Well, I think Alabama would probably argue who's got the best players every year. Look, this fan base is on fire with this season. They are as passionate as they've ever been. Yes, there's frustration because there's not been a title in 41 years. They should have won this thing a couple of years ago against Alabama when the game went to overtime and they let it slip away. So they should have already done this. Look, winning these national titles, it isn't easy. You know, you got to have some things fall into place. Kirby has got this program loaded with the talent, the coaching staff, especially on the defensive side of the ball. My goodness, you got Muschamp, Lanning, Kirby, Schumann. I mean, you got 4 guys, really 4 coordinators over there. So, you know, I think this is probably their best shot, and so the fan base is really excited about it.
At Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. A few more minutes with Buck Belue. You can follow him on Twitter at BuckBelue8. You were speaking of the defense. Obviously, they are so strong on the defensive side of the ball. What is Will Muschamp's title right now? I know before the season started, he was a defensive analyst. Then the thing with Scott Cochran, whatever, I don't know where that stands. They promoted Will. Is he working with the defense? What is he actually doing?
Well, he is, taking over, the special teams by title, but I think you're on to it, Shane. I mean, he's more of a defensive coach. They're on the sideline as an analyst. He was not able to be down on the field. And so I believe this is where, they're getting his input during the game defensively. And it's just under the disguise of being a special teams coach.
When you look at this defense, obviously the front 4 is outstanding. I'm not saying it's a weakness, but do you think the only way Florida can win this game is if they throw the ball, try to attack the secondary?
Attack Georgia's secondary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Georgia's front 7 is really rugged. That Jordan Davis, the nose tackle, getting a little Heisman love. Talked to him yesterday. He's really, he finds that funny. He's laughing about it. He is really a difference maker in the middle. This inside linebacker group, too, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, Channing Tindall, those guys have been just outstanding. Pursuing the run game, getting these guys down. Now you got people off the edge like Adam Anderson and Nolan Smith. I mean, the front 7 is really, really rugged. I know Florida incorporates that quarterback run, which makes it a little tougher. But the weakness is in the secondary, specifically one of the cornerback spots. Darian Kendrick from Clemson's playing at a solid level. And look, the young kid on the other side, Keely Ringo's his name's a 5-star guy, second year with the program, that is getting better every week. But I think if you want to attack the Georgia defense, that's probably where you want to go. I just wonder if Florida can throw it well enough to really take advantage of that. A year ago with Trask, absolutely. Right now with these 2 quarterbacks, from what I see, I just have my doubts on whether they can really take advantage of that with the passing game.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there 100%. Okay, so what's Georgia got to do in this game to come out victorious?
Well, I would think offensively, as I mentioned, you got to get some plays out of this passing game. Look, these these other receivers, Ad Mitchell's a freshman, Ladd McConkey, a redshirt freshman, they've stepped in and done the job against Arkansas and Auburn. But come on, Florida's talent's better than that defensively, especially in the secondary. Are they going to do that against Elam? I would think not. So, again, Jermaine Burton, Kyrus Jackson, Arian Smith, what you going to do? You're going to step up and make some plays? You need some explosives here. You can't turn the ball over either and make it easier on Florida. So I think get some explosives, do a good job with the Gators running the ball as far as their quarterback goes, and don't turn the ball over. Should be a good day for the Dogs.
Yeah, Buck, we appreciate you taking the time to join our program. You broke a lot of the Gator fans' hearts back in the day. Let them know how they can listen to you up there in Atlanta.
Well, 680thefan.com. We're streaming there, and then you can, if you'd like to, you could go to the Fan app and listen there too. 680 The Fan mobile app. The way I think a lot of people are listening right now. Let me just say that I've got a book coming out here soon. A lot of it has to do with that 1980 season, and there's a big chapter on the Georgia-Florida game. But after going back and looking at the video again and really studying that Florida team, I was really impressed with the Gator talent they had. I'm a big fan of Wayne Peace and what he did at the quarterback spot. And then defensively, that was probably the best defensive line we faced that season. Galloway, Fisher, they were loaded up inside Jackson and Little at linebacker. We were really fortunate to be able to come away with 26 points against that Gator defense that year.
What's the name of the book? You got a name yet?
Well, I'm working on Behind the Hedges. I don't know if I want to pay the rights fee to get that. It seems like somebody has copyrighted that, so I'll have to come up with a new name, unless I want to drop some big money on it.
I got you. Well, Buck, we appreciate it, my man. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, that's Buck Belue. Join us on the Titan Tomorrow Hotline. We'll take a final timeout, come back, wrap up this Wednesday edition.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. Our Gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, South State Bank, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Caldwell Banker, MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Wrap Spot, Okido America, Gators Dockside, Style Cuts, Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Center State Bank is now South State Bank, but we still put business first. We understand that small businesses need a community business partner that they can rely on. South State still has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. South State Bank, banking for member FDIC. I want to thank JC for joining us on the Titan MR hotline, and also Buck Belue joining us from Atlanta. Great guy. Really good guy. David says on Facebook, I feel dirty listening and liking that guy. No, he's a really good guy. So played for the other team, but we can still like him. But anyway, hope you enjoyed today's show. Today's show is a wrap, brought to you by Wrap Spot. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Take care.
1st and 10. Matthews, near side, wide open, Alonzo Sullivan. He may go. Touchdown, Gators.